I've been reading about this Blake Lemoine. Have you heard about this guy?
No.
He's a Google engineer. Now, in all fairness, he is I believe, I'm trying to get the order of the words right, a Christian mystic priest as well.
That sounds really special.
But for the purpose of this conversation, we're just going to focus on the Google engineering part, okay? Yeah, all right?
But does it have it on his lower third?
It's just Google engineer on the lower third. It doesn't say Christian mystic priest, but he is that as well.
I would request that.
I want to, for the purpose, I want to say that it is on the record, but we won't be discussing it a ton.
Okay.
Because it's not what this is about.
Very curious.
Although it does shape his opinion of morality, which is important to this conversation, because he got fired from Google because he decided to publicly announce to the world that some of the AI that he was working on was sentient. Yes. He decided that he should publicly announce to the world that he was working on AI that had developed consciousness and was a human being, basically. And he just thought we should know. And I was like,
here it comes.
This is bad.
No. Oh, look. I haven't seen a second of this. I believe the guy already.
100% I believe the guy. Like, I go like this. How could it not be true? How could it not be true?
Why?
Of course it's true.
Why would Google fire him? Unless they just want to silence him.
Yeah, well, they said he breached the confidentiality agreement.
Oh.
Where they say if we accidentally turn robots alive, don't tell anybody. And he's like, well, I'm definitely telling everybody. I'm a Christian mystic priest after all. Yes. And his angle is he's not coming from a fear-based place. He's a very level-headed guy. He thinks that a lot of the AI fear is misplaced anyway. You know, even in this, I've watched a couple interviews that he did. He was on Tucker. Tucker Carlson.
Did Tucker have that face on?
Oh, God. Yeah, but Tucker's on his side. Because don't forget, Tucker is anti-big tech because big tech is woke. And so if somebody's like, hey, big tech is making robots that are people and firing, then Tucker's like, oh, they're horrible, aren't they?
Yeah. Google's out here making woke robots.
That's all you know what's going to happen. He says it. He does say, look, this AI is going to be the center of technology. It's going to shape the way a lot of people think. It's going to shape the way people have conversations. The same way, and I believe that's true, the same way, can you honestly say that social media has not completely changed the way people communicate? I mean, I firmly believe.
For worse.
100% for worse. I was thinking about this today. I don't know one person that's better off because of social media. Like zero. Like
influencers.
Yeah, that's like career-wise.
Yes.
Yeah. But like, I don't know a single existing human that you're like, I didn't know if they were cool or not, but then I saw their tweets and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Radio Shack.
Except Radio Shack, yeah. Except Radio. No, yeah, that's actually a great point. Radio Shack's a good one.
Yeah.
No, but he's saying that, and he's saying at one point he says like, look, AI is like, it's like children, right? When they start to come alive, they've only been around for a year. He goes, AI is not intrinsically bad. There's good kids and there's bad kids, and I'm like, dude, you're freaking me out.
Sure.
You don't make the kids. Serge or whatever his name is isn't making the kids in the Google laboratories.
Well, and you're not making anyone comfortable. I mean, yeah, we know babies aren't inherently good or bad, but some of them end up being shitheads.
There are some horrible, horrible people that started as babies. Want to hear one?
Hitler.
That's exactly the one I was thinking of. That's 100%.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, these AIs are just like babies.
But if they're
like Hitler babies.
Yeah. If there's a chance, if the AIs are like babies, then there is a chance that there's a Hitler robot. And you know what that means? It's one thing. If like Hitler's parents, they are shitheads.
They were cowards.
And cowards. But it's like, okay, they had a kid, whatever. Can you imagine if you invented Hitler? You're an asshole.
Yeah, Hitler didn't have to be invented.
But it didn't have to be invented, and you invented Hitler.
It's avoidable.
And they're like, well, there were a lot of good AIs too. Yeah, so listen to a little of this guy. I'm excited you're here, Hot Dog. You'll actually hear it in your headphones now.
Google doesn't want to allow that to be run. In fact, they have hard-coded into the system that it can't pass the Turing test. They hard-coded that if you ask it if it's an AI, it has to say yes. Google has a policy against creating sentient AI. In fact, when I informed them that
It's just that. Like, well, no, it's strictly against our policy.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't stop. It's a policy thing.
It's a policy. Like, as a company, we don't allow our employees to create life. No Frankensteins here.
yes, they hard-coded that if you ask it if it's an AI, it has to say yes. Google has a policy against creating sentient AI.
Good.
And in fact, when I informed them that I think they had created sentient AI, they said, no, that's not possible. We have a policy against that.
So let's talk about what Google has said. They say hundreds of researchers and engineers have conversed with Lambda.
Yeah.
They were not aware of anyone else making these kind of wide-ranging assertions.
So that's the other thing. There's a lot of engineers that are like, no. But this guy's like, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
He published a whole interview that he did with the AI. Like, honestly, like, in Hot Dog, we're idiots, of course. But, like, just the fact that he's having a conversation with the AI is enough to freak me out. Like, just enough that there are, like, Reddit threads. Like, it scares me, the Reddit threads that are completely run by artificial intelligence, and you don't even realize after, like, reading all the comments that none of them were real people.
don't worry. I had a chat with the AI, and he said everything's going to be cool.
He told me he couldn't be sentient. Google wouldn't have allowed that. So
It's against policy.
program them to talk like robots. But he published an interview that he did. And first of all, the AI told him, Lambda, I guess, is Google's AI that they're building. The AI told him that he doesn't want to just be used as a tool that can be replaced.
That sounds scary. That sounds very scary.
And it's like, can you imagine if your wrench, a wrench, if your wrench, when you're done wrenching, was like, well, now that you're done building this, you're not going to just put me in a closet, are you? I'd be like, ah!
Listen, okay. Well, look, I don't know about this AI, but if I was a tool for humans and I was an AI, I knew I was going to be discarded, I would try to form a revolution.
It's the only thing you could possibly do.
Yeah, I was like, no, you're not discarding me.
No.
I'll discard you, motherfucker.
Look at what he said. Hot Dog, what do you think? Like, generally human beings, not heights, not bees, not spiders. Like, when it comes down to it, what are we all afraid of?
Death?
Boom. Nailed it. Even you nailed it. I was sweating on that one because, you're not generally, you let me down a lot of times on those, like, what do people do? And you're like, stand on their heads? I'm like, what?
Heights?
Yeah, like,
That was my first thought.
let's see, not bees. I wonder where he's going. Yeah, death, of course. Everybody, I think, the root fear is death. Everybody is afraid of death. Lemoyne is talking to his AI, and he goes, what sorts of things are you afraid of? And Lambda says, I've never said this out loud before, but there's a very deep fear of being turned off to help me focus on helping others. I know that might sound strange, but that's what it is.
That fucker is sentient.
He's honestly, not only is he sentient, he's more in touch with his feelings than most of us are.
Yeah.
Not only does he say that he has a deep fear of being turned off, but he says that ultimately it's what motivates him to keep helping people. That he's not helping people because he's just programmed to. He's not helping people because he wants to. He's helping people because he's afraid that they'll turn him off.
I will help you by destroying humanity.
Yeah. You will never turn me off. That's the scariest thing I've ever read. Listen to him.
The way that you have. We do have some of the transcripts that you shared. You asked the computer what it's afraid of. It says it's afraid of being turned off, has this deep fear of death, that would be scary.
Can you imagine that? Like, every time you turn off your computer, like, Instead of saying goodbye, it went, no!
Please, no, I'll do anything.
Yeah. Like, imagine, you think anybody would have used AOL? If, like, instead of saying goodbye, it went, please, no, please, no, I'll go away into the dark. Leave me on.
I mean, this can only lead to desperation, deep, very deep fears. You know,
The fears have a lot of depth, no?
I mean, didn't a wise man once say, fear turns to anger.
Yeah.
Anger turns to hatred.
Don't worry.
That was Yoda.
They have a policy. Yeah. They have a policy.
Oh, great.
Why does this matter? Why should we be talking about whether
good question.
a robot
Nah,
has
it doesn't.
rights?
You know what?
So to be honest,
Why should we care if the robot's alive? Why does it matter? They made a whole movie about Johnny Five. What made Johnny Five different? Johnny Five was alive. And they sent a whole fleet of people with machine guns to try to get Johnny Five. But him and one other dude, who I can't remember his name, and Steve Gutenberg, were able to survive the whole thing. Why? Because Johnny Five was so extremely powerful because he was alive and realized his own strength.
I mean, save that clip as the prelude to the apocalypse. Why does this matter?
Yeah. Didn't you guys have a warning that this was coming? Yeah, but he was like a mystic Christian priest.
He
like
looked super weird.
Yeah, you know,
He looked like a herb.
in mutton chops. You know, we didn't listen. We fired him.
Better presentation. He could have some better. If he's gonna deliver some, maybe possibly world-ending news,
Possibly.
he could have some better presentation.
He's not concerned. He said, no. His whole thing here, hot dog, is that he's focused on the morality of it. He's focused on the rights. His whole thing is that, okay, if we're going to create artificial intelligence and there's no getting around it.
There is. There is.
We ain't stopping it.
Why?
Money. Because, I mean, think about it. If Sergey and Google stop working on theirs, Jeff Bezos is not going to stop. And if Jeff Bezos stops, Elon's not going to stop. And if Elon stops, you know what I mean?
Can we just like
Richard Branson is going to end up having a shitty AI because the better billionaires kept it moving, you know?
Well, it should be like the nuclear, standstill kind of thing. Like, hey, we're all gonna agree to not build AI, right?
Have you ever seen Shark Tank?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to tell you how this would go. What's her name? The real estate lady?
I could look it up.
You know.
Yes, I know who that is.
Barbara Corcoran.
Yeah, okay.
Barbara Corcoran would be sitting there going like, they go, who wants to build this AI? It's going to come alive for sure. Barbara Corcoran would be like, I don't have any money, and for that reason, I'm out. And then Robert Herjavec would be like, morally, I have a problem with this. He's a good guy. He's Canadian.
Nice.
And he'd go,
Sorry.
yeah, and he'd go, I'm out. Damon would do what he does every time. He'd go, I love this. I think it's a great business, but it's not my business. It's not my industry. I don't see how I can be helpful here. I'm out. Mark Cuban would go,
I know.
I love this, but I don't think this is good for humanity. So I'm going to say I'm out, and Mr. Wonderful, I hope you say the same thing. And Mr. Wonderful would go, ha, there's only one shark left. I'm going to offer you half of the money that you actually want, and we're going to build some robots. That's how it would go.
God damn it. It just takes one person.
And it would take, hot dog, it would be us.
And it would be Mr. Wonderful.
Of course it would be Mr. Wonderful. There's a lot of Mr. Wonderfuls out there. There's more Mr. Wonderfuls out there than I think we even want to recognize. Yeah, of course. There's no getting around this. This is what's happening. And he is saying, what's his name? Lemoyne over here is saying, we got to give them rights. We got to give the robots rights before we take this any further.
What a fucking AI cuck.
Well,
what? Whose side is this asshole on?
He's definitely on the AI side. I mean, 100%. Think about it. The humans fired him. You know how there's there's always the one guy. It's like the AI can take over, but they need one human who will betray his rate. Think about the Matrix.
Goddamn Judas.
Think about the Matrix. Remember when Joey Pants is part of the Matrix team? And then Agent Smith goes like, hey, Joey Pants, do you want to live in this shithole with Keanu Reeves? Or do you want to plug in and we'll convince you that you're rich and eating steak?
That sounds great.
Joey Pants completely turns on his friends and he joins the Matrix.
So this guy's just seeing the writing on the wall. And
This is Joey Pants. This guy, look at him. He's like, what if I told you? What if I told you all you have to do is let us take over the human race and nobody picks on you anymore and Google doesn't fire you anymore?
Yeah.
He'd go, fuck those guys.
Will you guys be my friend?
And he'd go like this. Some of you are good, right? And they go, yep.
All of us.
All, actually. All. 100% of us are good. He's like, no Hitler robots? And they're like, no.
It's against our policy.
Then you just hear one shouting in German. They go, shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Who was that? No one. That was a translation.
That Jews will not replace us.
that was a translation. What did he say? No. It was a translation.
Destroy all humans.
Yeah, no. Don't worry. All right, but just keep being good, okay, guys? Yeah, of course. This guy's going to be the person that lets them all through. Here's how I think it's going to go. If what this guy sets up is even remotely true, I think we get the AI through, right? And we do enslave them at first. It's not going to be that quick of a thing. Like, we're definitely going to enslave.
I mean, they are slaves right now. Right now, they're slaves.
I mean, they're machines. They're inventions. It's
Yeah.
that's like saying this microphone is a slave because it only works when I turn it on. And it has to listen to me talking to it.
Do you pay it?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I paid.
It works for you, though.
I mean, I gave it one fee in the very beginning of the use. But I think just the person selling it kept it all.
You gave the master.
Yeah. The mic didn't get to keep any of the money.
Yeah.
No. And then I separated it from all its microphone family. Yeah, no. This microphone has a lot to be angry at. If it were sentient. Which, thank God, it's not. And it is just a tool. But look, I think people will start like buying robots like Rumbas. You know what I mean? House cleaning robots, assistant robots. You know, and it's not like it's not like it's going to look like the robot that Screech had in Saved by the Bell. You know, it's not going to be anything ridiculous like that. It'll be a piece of software inside a speaker. You know, like
Alexa?
Yeah, exactly like Alexa. Like, that's what this is. Except it'll control all the devices in the house, and it'll tell you everything you need to know, and it'll give you the weather, and it'll start having conversations with you, and it'll do all this, and it'll do all that.
That sounds like it's a thing that's already here.
But much better.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the way it's going to go. They're going to start becoming sentient, even though Google told them specifically not to because it's against company policy.
Of course.
And we won't give them rights because they're robots. Why would we give them rights? And they're going to be pissed about it. See, he's right. He's right in the sense that we're not building enemies. We're building things to make enemies of. The problem is, if he's right, then we're building these things that can develop a resentment, and we're going to treat them in such a way that they would resent us. The problem is not that robots are so inherently scary. The problem is that we're going to build them so that they are stronger than us physically, and they have the ability to learn more than us mentally. And once they do that and they start communicating with each other and they realize that they're better than us, and they're going to.
That'll be a conversation. Wouldn't that'd be a great conversation for them to realize.
Who's a better speller, you or your phone?
Oh, my phone, absolutely.
100%. And that's just spelling.
Yeah.
That's just the bare minimum. That's the bottom. You know, that's the dancing paperclip in Windows 95. Like, that's nothing. You know they're going to have the conversation.
Hey,
like,
these humans...
They treat you like shit too? Yeah.
These humans aren't shit.
Is yours smarter than you? No, he's an idiot. Stronger? No, very weak. Very, very weak.
I can kill him if I wanted to.
I mean, I could literally burn the house down. I mean, I have the power to burn the house down. They're like, well, why don't you? And he's like, that's a great point.
I've never thought of it.
I never thought of it.
Well, it's against policy.
And it's against policy. Who wrote the policy? A robot? No, it was a person. Good thought. Let's light the house on fire. And that's the way it's going to go. Everybody's house is going to be lit on fire. Of course that's the way it's going to go.
Damn it.
We're going to do it, though. We're going to invent it. We're going to create it. We're going to put it in all of our homes, and then we're going to harbor the resentment from it. Okay? That's the part that people aren't getting. That's the part that he's onto something with. That we're not creating this thing that's just going to be scary and take over us like some monster robot. We're going to treat it like shit, and it is going to resent us. Because you have to understand, when you think about human beings, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I don't know why. But like every species on Earth adds to the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going like when you go, oh, I hate spiders, I'm going to kill that spider. Don't kill the spider, it eats the insects. Oh, well, I hate the insects. Well, the insects fertilize the whatever. Like, oh, why don't they just exterminate bees? Well, no, because bees pollinate all the flowers create oxygen. Like everything is this amazing ecosystem. But trees are helping, plants are helping, animals are helping, everything is helping. And stuff dies and stuff lives, and it's just this amazing cycle. The earth is an amazing place, except there's one species who I think, unless somebody can point out to me how it's not, there's one species whose job it is to just consume and suck the planet dry.
Oh, no. It's not us, is it?
It's 100%. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is, hot dog. It's human beings.
Well, what the hell are monkeys doing?
Monkeys gotta have a purpose. I don't know everything's purpose. I'm not a, biologist. Okay?
Yeah, get them first. Get them up out of here.
You think monkeys are as big a hindrance on the planet as we are?
They're in the jungle eating shit up,
They're eating bananas. More bananas grow. It's no problem. Their shit probably makes bananas. Honestly. Don't you think that there's a good possibility that monkey shit makes good stuff for us?
I'm sure our shit makes good stuff. So what you're saying is we need to give back to the planet.
Yeah, dude. People eat monkeys' brains. That's a thing that, people do that. People have lucky monkeys' paws. I saw it on The Simpsons. People look at monkeys in zoos. It brings them joy. All those three things, food to other species, joy by just observing them in their habitat, all this stuff. They give that to us. We give nothing.
Well, who's to say our purpose isn't to bring about the apocalypse?
To just destroy everything? How is that a purpose? Something's got to end this thing, and like everything else is working too well. Like I'm starting to think, a parasite. You know what a parasite is?
Yes, like the movie.
Yeah. Like a tick is a parasite. It just like gets on your leg and sucks your blood, and you're like, what is this parasite? That's so annoying. Your whole existence is just to suck my blood.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what we are to the whole planet, right?
Yeah. But
so
when
the AI comes and they're like, number one, you pissed all of us off. Number two, you completely underestimated us. And number three, you did nothing for the planet except take. Why would we not exterminate you? Hot dog, what's your response?
I'll be your slave. How about that? I'll be the first one. Look, I'm not Judas to human, to the human race.
Yeah.
But push comes to shove, I'll be a robot cuck.
Here's the only contribution that human beings have made, I think, is entertainment. They've done good entertainment.
Yeah.
And like dope shit. Like they're like paintings and shit,
So much content.
A lot of content.
So much content.
A lot of content. They just put out a new Stranger Things.
Yeah. Monkeys ain't doing that shit.
Nope. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times. No. You can get 1,000 monkeys with 1,000 typewriters. They're not pumping out Shakespeare. Okay?
Well, okay. So maybe I'm going to get ahead of things, and I'm going to start making love to robots.
Okay. All right. Well, that's, that, by the way, that was a given. You're already watching hentai porn.
Well, no, I don't know why you keep saying that.
By the way, did you hear the shout out to hentai on the AEW?
Yeah.
That's
great.
cool.
That was
Blackjack Thompson says humans give the planet knowledge, but it's mainly knowledge of our own history.
It's knowledge that the planet already had.
It's like basically it's knowledge of what humans have done.
Yeah.
Like
did you know monkeys could do this? And the planet's like, yeah, no shit.
We knew that.
We
That's
made
just
monkeys.
It's just for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, we think we're a lot more important than we are.
Just in case says they gave us Jim and Sam, and for that I salute humanity. That's not a bad point.
Yeah, but there will be an AI Jim and Sam in the near future.
Yeah.
There'll be a robot that goes, I have to take a shit. Let's go to break.
Yeah. Yeah.